History in action. Just a little bit ago, President Biden introducing the first black woman to sit on the Supreme Court, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Now, folks, it's my honor, and it truly is an honor. I've been looking forward to for a while, to introduce you the next Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Moment, but we can't ignore the backdrop of the pandemic as well, and an increasing number of new COVID cases in Washington. Joining me now to discuss, ABC News White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks, also ABC News contributor Dr. John Brownstein. Mary Alice, incredible mood at the White House, historic. An honor. I mean, it's something we're going to be talking about. As Leah Rigor said, professor of history at Johns Hopkins, it's something that she will be having her students listen to and watch for years and years to come. What stood out to you today?
Yeah, definitely a celebration, a party-like atmosphere there at the White House. You saw the president just beaming ear to ear. He had his sunglasses on. He said not only was it a sunny day, but this day would shine sunlight on young women around the country. They were, you know, they were thumbs up like he likes to do. They were backslapping. I think they wanted to take a moment to really not only acknowledge that this was a campaign promise kept, but a moment for the country to feel good and feel proud. And that was actually the message from Judge Jackson herself. You know, I think all of us kind of stopped it. She took our breath away a little bit when she had this one line. She said at the end of her remarks, "I am the dream and the hope of a slave." And that is a reality that Americans, all Americans, can take pride in. That her message was that we should all take a moment to realize just how far this country has come, but also how far this country has to go, that this day took 233 years in the making. Kira.
Sure did. Just incredible. I mean, not only quoting the poet Maya Angelou, but just her own words of what this means. It was so poetic both ways. And Mary Alice, you know, also too, when listening to her speech, listening to her message, she was very gracious. After what she went through in those confirmation hearings, she of course thanked everyone from her husband to her daughters to her in-laws. Everybody was there, her roommates from law school. But she also had a bit of a shout out, respectful shout out to those GOP committee members that really just tried to rattle her during those hearings.
Yeah, it was remarkable first just how humble she was. Like you said, she took time to thank just about everyone sitting there. She said about this moment, "We made it. All of us." And that was clearly what she wanted to project. Just remarkable humility. She talked about every single person, it seemed, in her life, but also, like you said, those White House staffers that helped her through this incredibly grueling process. You know, I was struck, not only did she sort of give a shout out and a gracious sort of thank you to the 3 Republicans that crossed party lines to vote to confirm her, but President Biden, he said that the kind of questioning that she got during those hearings amounted to, in his words, verbal abuse. He was clearly frustrated by the kinds of questions that she got, but proud that she conducted herself so calmly. He said that she conducted herself with poise and patience, character and composure, but he was clearly frustrated that she had to endure and sit through some of those questions that he felt were absolutely inappropriate and crossed the line.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Brownstein, while I have you here, you know, there's still a lot of COVID concerns growing here in D.C., Capitol Hill. You know, when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tested positive for COVID, followed then by other lawmakers later in the day, including Senators Raphael Warnock and also Susan Collins. So what do you think? Do you think that what we saw today has the potential to become a super spreader event? Because apparently Nancy Pelosi tested positive, you know, hovering over the president's shoulder at the event at the White House last week.
Well, Kira, I don't want to take away from this landmark moment, but DC is having an obvious surge. We're seeing those super spreader events where we had the gridiron dinner that obviously contributed to dozens of cases. So I wouldn't be surprised if this event did contribute to more cases, whether that's a super spreader event or not. It's unclear. It was outside, so that's lower risk, but then there were no masks and close proximity, and we have this BA.2 variant that is spreading very quickly. And we did see this with the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett, although that had indoor elements and no vaccines. But this is a reminder, this pandemic is not over, and we have this BA.2 variant that is spreading fast. I know the CDC has this definition of a close contact, 15 minutes in a 24-hour period, but that might be going out the window a little bit because this variant spreads so quickly. So we do have to be concerned about cases going up in the coming days, and especially the people that attended the event, likely a good idea to get tested to make sure.
And Mary Alice, what do we know about the president? He has been getting tested daily, right? But he's older, so there is definitely a risk there.
Yeah, the White House has been careful to say that to not say that it's daily. I think they're trying to couch that. He's tested when they think that it is appropriate. It seems to be every few days. He is older, but he's also, because he's older, he's double boosted, and that has been sort of the line that the White House has been trying to walk. They've been saying that, of course, they're taking precautions to make sure the president does not get COVID. They have these regular testing protocols. They often test any staff, reporters that are going to be close to the president, people that are attending these events. But they're also trying to say that he might test positive, that clearly he's trying to get back out there, to be in the world, to have this transition moment like the rest of the country is experiencing, where people are getting on with their lives, and that we are seeing that from him and from the White House, and that does include some risk, but that he is vaccinated and double boosted, and that is really the message from this White House still.
And just bring us up to date, John, just where we are right now, as Shanghai's on lockdown, yet here we see this White House event and don't see very many masks.
It is a little bit tough to sort of process because we know that this variant is spreading fast in many parts of the country, especially in the Northeast. We're seeing these small surges. At the same time, we've had a really good vaccination campaign in some of these areas where we're seeing upticks in cases. And so this will be a big test of the vaccines and the double boosting that's occurring right now. But we have to remember the case data is a little bit confusing. People are not getting tested. They are using rapid tests at home. So the official data that we're seeing at the CDC is not necessarily indicative of the spreading that's happening in communities. And so we do have to be somewhat worried. We're seeing a slight uptick in hospitalizations in many parts of the country. So I have a concern. I do not think we're going to see the same, initial BA.1 Omicron wave, but we definitely have to be vigilant, and we have to be concerned, especially going into large events where, people aren't necessarily testing, where vaccination status isn't clear, and people aren't masked.
John and Mary Alice, thank you so much. Also, too, we just got word, White House confirming moments ago that President Biden did test negative for COVID this morning. So this is the most recent COVID test from Biden since he last tested on Wednesday night, which was also negative. Mary Alice and John, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.